What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and as always we are covering the UFC event that is happening tomorrow on Saturday, which is Paul Felder versus Rafael dos Anjos. And this was also supposed to be RDA against Islam Makhachev, I believe, and Makhachev has pulled out. I don't know why. I didn't look into why. I'm not too bothered. This card, yet again, in my opinion, is quite weak. The main event is fantastic, and in all honesty, guys, probably one of the hardest fights for me to pick on who's going to win. This main event is just could go either way, but we'll get into that in a minute. There's 5 fights on this main event. I am skipping the main card, so I'm skipping 2 of them. I'm skipping the co-main event and then the one before the co-main event as well. But we're going to get into the fights that we are doing. We're going to start with the first fight on the main card, which is Eryk Anders versus Antonio Arroyo. I'll start by saying I do like Eryk Anders. I saw him when he was first in the UFC, and I have liked him since. They are both coming off a loss. Eryk Anders is 13-5 and Antonio is 9-3. Anders has fought much tougher opponents. Yes, he has lost to them, but he's fought people like Thiago Santos, Latoya Machida, Khalil Roundtree. He has lost to all of those people by decision, I believe. But all in all, you know, or did he get knocked out by Roundtree? I don't remember, but either way, he's lost to all 3 of those. Antonio won 2 fighters in Dana White's Contender Series, and he lost his UFC debut. For this pick, my opinion is going based completely on experience and experience of opponents. I feel like Eryk Anders has more chance of dragging Antonio into the deep end than Antonio does Eryk Anders. I don't see Anders really struggling against someone like this. Yes, he could lose, but I don't see him being dragged, you know, deep, because fighting people like Machida, Santos, Roundtree, those are the kind of guys that, you know, bring new levels out of you. And someone like Antonio with 9-3, you know, lost his UFC debut, 2 wins in Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. Without the Contender Series, if he went straight to the UFC and lost, his record would actually only stand at 7-3, so it wouldn't be that impressive. My opinion, based on experience, like I said, and experience of opponents, is Eryk Anders wins on points for this one. It wouldn't be surprising if Anders won by KO, but I see Anders winning regardless, and I think he'll win it on points. I think he's gonna keep himself calm and not go mental, and just outpoint him across the board. Now we move on to the next fight, which is the fight after the Anders fight, which is Kai Henson versus Corey McKenna. This is Corey McKenna's UFC debut after a Dana White's Contender Series decision win. Dana White was very generous to give her that. I wouldn't have said she deserved the contract personally. It was still a great fight, and she still did win, but it wasn't dominant enough. But Dana White, you know, said he was in a good mood, so he gave her a contract. Personally, I'm happy to see her. I haven't seen much of Kai Henson fight, to be honest, but she did win her UFC debut. My opinion will also be quite biased, as I did watch Corey McKenna in Cage Warriors. She come to a town near me, and me and my friend went and watched her, and I followed her career since. She was really impressive, actually, in that Cage Warriors fight, you know, which is why I followed her career, because she did impress me very much. I'm happy to see her in the UFC. I really am. I think she deserves it. When I watched her, she had good ground game. She had good ground and pound. She doesn't have a lot of power. I don't see a standing KO happening at this point at all. Kai Henson is 7-3, and Corey McKenna is at a 5-1. Her only loss was by split decision in Cage Warriors, I believe. As a fan of Corey McKenna, I want to say her on points, but just looking at them both, I see Corey McKenna probably getting outstruck depending on who has the longer reach. I don't really see McKenna being able to use her reach. She's not exactly large. I see her getting outstruck quite a bit, and then goes to the ground. But then my other realistic answer is Kai Henson is a 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, so I could see her ground game being better than Corey McKenna. I think this is a super tough fight for Corey McKenna personally. As a fan, I'm going to say Corey on points. I see, maybe as a realistic answer, Kai Henson wins on points, as I think she probably has a stronger ground game and maybe the longer reach of a stand-up. They're only an inch difference in height, but Corey McKenna does have quite short arms when it comes to her stand-up reach. But I'm going to go with the fan side of me, and I'm going to say, you know, they lean a little bit and they give a little bit of favour towards Corey McKenna, and she wins that one on points. I could see a submission coming in, but I don't know if she'll be able to make someone from 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu tap, and I don't see Corey McKenna being made to tap either. So I'll say Corey McKenna on points for this one. And the next 2 fights are the ones we are skipping. Julian Marquez versus Saparabek Sarov. I don't know even how to pronounce his name at all. And Abdul Razak Al-Hassan versus Colleen Williams. I'm skipping both of them. I don't know any of those fighters. I don't know any of them even slightly. So we're skipping all of those fighters and all those fights. You know, best luck to them always for the fighters we skip, but not really too bothered about any of them. And now we go to the main event. Paul Felder 17-5 against RDA 29-13. There is a lot that goes into this fight. Both are super tough, super awesome fight for us, the viewers, to watch. You know, respect to both of them for taking this fight, mainly Paul Felder on such short notice. RDA has the toughest UFC history, in my opinion, fighting the likes of Pettis, Cowboy, Covington, Khabib, Chiesa, Barboza, things like that. I believe Ferguson. Has he fought Ferguson? I don't remember. He's fought a lot of people, and he's fought a tough ass set of people. Eddie Alvarez. And everyone like that, Michael Chiesa, things like that, and he's super tough, and respect to both of them. Both are coming off losses though against super tough dudes. Felder's recently lost to Dan Hooker, and RDA recently lost to Michael Chiesa, I believe. RDA does have the experience in this fight, of course, when it comes to fight count, when it comes to championship level, when it comes to tougher competition. RDA has the experience. In RDA's last 5, he's 1-4, which is just awful. And Felder in his last 5 is 3-2. There's a lot that goes into this fight for me. On a short notice fight, you never know if RDA has really set his sights against Islam Makhachev and he's now been thrown off by Felder, or if Felder would need a full camp to beat someone like RDA. This could go either way. Either of them could get a knockout rounds 1 through 5, and RDA could definitely make him tap rounds 1 through 5. We're going to go off the fact that assuming the weight cut is fine and Felder isn't feeling rough or feeling weak or too gaunt, or the weight cut isn't just horrendous. Let's say he has a decent weight cut for a short notice fight at lightweight. I could see Felder winning this. There's a lot, yet again I say that, but then my pick could be realistically for RDA to win this by submission, unless another thing that comes into it is ego makes him stand with Felder for 5 rounds. But Felder is so dangerous anywhere. This is a super tough one for me to judge. You guys are really going to have to let me know what you think for this one. I generally don't have a clue. I could see Felder knocking him out. I could see RDA winning. So I'm going to have to just play the safe bet and go for the experience, go for who's actually trained for the fight properly. And I'm going to have to just go with RDA. And I could see RDA winning on points, but then the other part of me says, you know what, he does like to stand, so Felder could probably outstrike him and could deny his takedowns. I don't know, but I'm just gonna have to say RDA wins this one. I generally don't know how. In a way, I want to see Felder win, but I think RDA will win this one. This is probably the toughest fight I've had to call when it comes to this series we've been doing. Genuinely super tough. Let me know your thoughts, but I'm going to go with RDA. I don't know how. Point submission. I don't think he'll KO Felder. Point or submission is how it will go down. But if Felder wins, hats off to him. It won't surprise me if this fight goes either way. This is just a super tough one to call, and this is about as much as I can say on it, really. I'm going to say RDA wins this one on points after, probably dominant ground game, and probably, beats him up quite badly. But, also Felder's got good stand-up, so is RDA, so it's tough. But I'm going to stop waffling because I could just go back and forth and argue with my own head for ages. But let me know your thoughts, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.